Hello, Tracy. How are you?
I'm great. Thanks for
Yes.
having me today, Miriam.
No,
Yeah.
no, you're more than welcome. You've got so much knowledge. I'm just so happy and so proud to have you here. So yes, please tell us about yourself a little bit, please.
Okay. I was born in Darwin and stayed there for a number of years, and then moved to Queensland about 25 years ago. So I currently live in Brisbane, but I've lived a few different places and towns in Queensland. And yeah, I've got two girls, so two kids at primary school, and two fur kids and a husband. So yeah, and let me see. A bit of background of me. I've had various jobs over time, which I think sort of fill people out as far as their life experience goes. So mine's been quite varied. I've worked in the government, I've in IT, and then also in primary industries. And in 2012, I actually opened my own massage clinic. So at the behest of and pressure of my friends, it's sort of like, you need to open your own clinic. So yeah, I've also, so in 2012, opened my clinic, and then over that time, I had sort of casual jobs to sort of fill in the income in hardware. And yeah, so since 2012, I've also done further studies in an osteospinal technique, so not just remedial massage, and a technique called the Emmett technique, which I use together. So yeah, I've like fixing bodies. So yeah, that's a bit of background.
You know a lot, and you know a lot about them. Each time we talk, I'm so surprised by your knowledge and how much you know. So what did you do and what did you study, I should say, at university?
Yeah, I studied a degree in applied science out at University of Queensland, and then I followed on with an honours in reproduction, actually. So I found that I loved research, and I loved the whole degree because I learned about anatomy and physiology and how we tick, you know, nutrition, biochemistry. We even did parasites and microbiology, and you know, there's so many topics just related to health and well-being. And so yeah, I've sort of haven't stopped learning, I guess. I'm always learning more, and there's just so much out there. There's so many solutions for people if they just know where to look. Yeah.
Yes, yes, and you sure are very good at doing researches, that's for sure. So, yes, so that brings me to the next question. How did you come to create a chronic wellness project?
Oh, so many different reasons, but I guess when it stems back to it, it's my own personal experience. So ever since I can remember, I've always had itchy skin or dermatitis. So my family used to think I was a little bit crazy, actually. Yeah, so when I left home and I actually saw a dermatologist for the first time when I was 19 and had, you know, skin testing done and everything, and came back with all these reactions to various things. So that sort of led me on the path to looking at alternatives. And I even, you know, started making my own skincare and things like that because I can't use things from the shop. So, you know, that involves looking at the back of labels on shampoos, conditioners, moisturizers, everything. And I still do it today because if there's things in there that I can't have, then it affects me. So, so that was the first thing. And then in the late, and then earlier, shortly after that, I started, yeah, I started training in natural therapy. So I did my remedial massage, and as part of that, there were subjects in aromatherapy and things like that as other subjects. So my love of natural therapies and looking into essential oils and other things and alternatives, I think my love grew from there as to looking at alternative things for people. So yeah, and fast forward to now having two kids, or well, the oldest one is 11, so it started back then. But when I had my kids, and I soon learnt that they reacted to a lot of food additives. So we're not the only kids family out there that has them. There's even now becoming more and more kids, as you know, with, you know, really bad food allergies. So I had to, I bought a Thermomix so I could learn how to make things from scratch, and that started me then on the road to looking at food additives and food ingredients and making things from scratch and why it's important. And then that unraveled a whole big, you know, another rabbit hole to go down as far as food goes as well. So yeah, and when I opened my massage clinic in 2012, I had an intake form, and as well as the normal, you know, date of birth and everything like that, I'd have a question in there of how many, or not how many, what medications are you on, just in case there's some that might have contraindicated a treatment. And at least 1 in 3 women were on antidepressants. And I thought to myself, oh my goodness, is this normal? And so went off and did a little bit of research into that. And then I also had people that had, and still do, have gut issues. They've got chronic illnesses are popping up, you know, the big C. And I thought to myself, goodness me, so I can help people physically with their muscles and tendons and ligaments and all that sort of thing. But I haven't before now been able to help people on the inside, you know, the other things that make people well. So, yeah, so what I did was, that had been thinking in the back of my head. And anyway, a couple of years ago, I went back to work full time. I got a bit of burnout in my massage clinic due to finances and things like that. So I just thought, oh, well, it'd be easy for someone else to pay my bills. Unfortunately, because it was a manual labour job, I blew a disc in my back. So it's not bulging, it's actually torn. And the orthopedic surgeon actually couldn't give me an answer. I said, how soon until it heals? Oh, I can't tell you that. I said, will it ever get better? Oh, I can't tell you that. And he said, you're just going to have to learn to deal with the pain. And I thought, this is just not acceptable. And I've had people over the years come into my clinic. They've been to see various therapists, and like their arm won't move above a certain level. Oh, you know, they had a car accident or something, and they were told, oh, sorry, that's as good as we can get it. You're just going to have to learn to deal with the pain and deal with the lack of mobility. And I don't accept no for an answer, and I will look for an answer because there's always a solution out there. And for my back, for example, I went online and I had a look, and I found a study over in Europe where they'd actually studied low-level laser therapy on some men over 5 years, and 70% of them regained their disc regenerated. And I thought to myself, right, there's the answer. So my moral is always to keep looking or keep asking, because someone might be able to refer you to someone else that can actually help you with your issue. So yeah, and I guess looking at what I know now, I mean, my biological mother unfortunately had, I was fostered out because she had mental health issues from a young age. So she had a lot of physical issues as well as the mental issues. And if, you know, and then I had a friend at university, did a double degree, and sadly at the age of 44, she passed away from a brain tumor, like a couple of years after university. And I just think to myself, if I was able to help them with what I know now, then, you know, it'd all be worth it. So I just see the rise in chronic illnesses and disease, and I know there's solutions out there. So that's why I'm setting this program up.
Well, that brings me to my 4th question, but obviously, I mean, the answer is already there, almost, because with everything that you said, I mean, and all the knowledge that you have and everything that you do, I was going to ask you, who is the program suitable for? But I mean, it is suitable for everyone, because you just, you know, in just what you explained, I mean, you've already touched almost all the diseases and all the illnesses that we can go through. But yeah, it's still my question. So who is the programs to go for, but especially in those times that we are in, with the viruses and immunity and all that being key of our survivals, because I know it's not a very nice subject to talk about, but we are in the middle of it, and the corona is mutating, and if people are not healthy, I mean, they will be faced at some point with the virus. But yes, please.
Okay.
So, sorry.
The program's really suitable for those people that want to be proactive with their health.
Yeah.
Well, like putting in a financial plan. I was speaking to a friend today and she said, oh, it's sort of like, you know, we sat down with our financial planner today because of the big problems people are having with money at the moment because everything's shut down. But putting in a financial plan for 10 years' time, because she said, if we don't start doing something now, we'll never do it. And we'll end up 10 years, retirement age, and nothing's been done. And when you think about it, this is sort of like a plan for your health retirement. Because if you don't do something now, and research has shown, if you don't have a healthy younger life, then when you are elderly, you're going to be a lot sicker and not be able to handle things and not really be able to enjoy your elder years, like your grandkids. Do you plan to have grandkids, and do you want to get down on the floor with them? Do you want to do active things with them? Or, you know, did you want to be walking around with a walking frame or in a wheelchair? Or, I mean, that's other things can happen along the time that you could end up in that situation. But did you want a healthy brain? I mean, the incidence of dementia is now they're diagnosing people in their 40s. It's just 40s and 50s with dementia, when that was not even considered 30 years ago, and it's just really scary. So yeah, people who want to be proactive, and it's probably not going to suit the people that are happy just to go on the latest fad and do things. People who really want to get results, they've followed other treatments, they've followed other things, and it just hasn't given them the results that they want. So they might be suffering with digestive issues, autoimmune issues, problems sleeping, shedding weight, hormonal issues. They might be in chronic pain, don't have any energy. Those, they're just some of the things that, the program's for.
That's it, and exactly right. We are also aggressed, by all those things that we do eat and chemicals and all that, that it is absolutely crucial to look after that health, to be able to grow old, as you said, and there's no other way out. I mean, that is what people should be doing to grow old. And you're right, so many Alzheimer's, everything that attacks the brain and all that. So. Yeah. Yes, can you just explain a little bit more of the areas that will be covering in your program? Because I love your program. But can you talk about the things that you have put, the areas that you have put in that?
Yeah, okay. So my basic program is just going to give an overview, so people can actually, have a look at their home, their healthy, to create a healthy home. It can even be just giving them an idea about different furnishings, like are they off-gassing? Are they then putting it into, do they have their windows open in their home? Are they subjecting themselves to air pollution inside the home? And even you and I, Muriel, have talked about even electrical wires in the wall. Electrical magnetic frequencies, so they can be from your Wi-Fi router, they can be from your mobile phone. Like, do you sleep with your mobile phone next to you on the nightstand? Because that can be emitting things that affect your brain. The wiring in your house can, that sort of thing. Having a healthy home. And then, as I mentioned earlier, I'm really passionate about the things that you put on your body as well as into your body. So a lot of those can have a lot of health consequences on your immune system, and build up of heavy, of toxins and everything in your body. So I'll be dealing with that. We'll be touching on a bit of healthy eating. So just, to looking for chemicals in your food as well. And even looking at your supplements. So a lot of them look all shiny on the shelf, but when you take a deeper look into them, they're not particularly, a lot of the stuff in that you'll find on the shelves in the chemist is a waste of money, because we take it in and then we wee out 80% of it. So yeah, and the quality as well. Also gut health, so that is really important. Gut and brain health, detoxing, and there's probably a few other things I'll throw in there as well, because there's always so many important areas. Yeah.
So I'll be one of your first clients because I am interested myself for sure. So yes, so I've understood, obviously you've got a small program that is available now. And then after that, you're working also behind on a bigger program to really be able to mentor and to look after people and really change them. So yeah, so that is great. And also something else that I really appreciate in the way that you are working is I know that you're already looking at some products that can ameliorate the life, that it is different things that you are going to incorporate in your business that you are working on as well, that will actually help people as well in the future to be radiation free, or things that you are starting to work on. So you're really doing the whole package, because really by offering that as well, you'll be able to really help them. So I find fantastic what you're doing.
Yeah. Unfortunately, we can't turn back time to pre-industrial times, because that's when we started, really getting stuck into factory things, and our soil still had, the right nutrition in it, and due to farming and things like that, our soil doesn't even have the right nutrients in it anymore. So we eat the plants from the soil, and the air that we breathe. So there's no pure place in the world anymore for us to exist in. So unfortunately we do need to use additional things in order to stay healthy and protect ourselves from radiation and things like that, because we just can't do it on our own anymore. Our bodies, our poor bodies, are inundated every second with all these things, and eventually they just can't handle it anymore. So yeah.
And to protect our children, because obviously that is not going to get better in that sense of technology and all these kind of things. So definitely they need to know what to do and to be taught how to grow and how to protect themselves to have also a better life in that sense. So what you do is absolutely, I just adore what you do. It's just absolutely so amazing. You're going to be able to help so many people and to change so many people's life. That is really, really great. So that brings me to that other question. What could you advise to people to actually already do? Could you give us a little tip of something that people could do straight up to actually have a better life already today?
Yes, I would focus. It's really important that your gut is healthy, because when it is what's called leaky, so there's gaps in it, then bigger molecules of food and other things can get into the bloodstream that aren't meant to be there, and the body goes, foreign invader, let's, jump on it and attack it and set up a little thing. And everyone's a bit unique, and depending on where it identifies with, and it can get that molecule confused with your body, like your pancreas, for example. And then you end up with an autoimmune issue. So it's really important to make sure your immune system is strong, and that your gut is a complete system rather than being leaky. So the food should go in one end, it should get digested along the way, and the waste pass out the other end. But at the moment, and it's happening in most of everyone, has a leaky gut, unfortunately, due to antibiotics and radiation, chemicals, heavy metals. Everything is causing all our guts to be leaky. So we're not 100% healthy. No one is 100% healthy. We may look like it on the outside, but on the inside, that's the thing to look at. So yeah, but there's so many factors. But if I would have to say the one thing that people couldn't look at, it's fixing the gut. Yeah.
Awesome. Well, that brings me to my last question today, is obviously to know what to do also. It would be great to know how to join you. So I know you're starting to have all your groups, and you are going to start to do some lives eventually, and talk and present everything that you do. But from now on, where can actually join you? Where can they go to be in contact with you?
Okay, well, at the moment, it'd be be good to just join my page. So there's the Chronic Wellness Project on Facebook at the moment. So my contact details are on there, and always just send me a message. I'd love to just have a chat with people if they want a question, ask me some questions. And the program will be launching pretty soon. So I'm really excited.
Yes, and you've got a small program that you are doing for now because of the coronavirus. You said that we're doing something at a special price. So I strongly recommend everyone to actually contact you because you are actually doing a really great offer. So it would be great that they get onto it. It's the right time. We've got the time as well, being in lockdown, to look after our health. So
that's right.
Better timing, not only because we've got the time to actually be able to do it, but also the best timing, obviously, with what we are living around us to actually really look after our health. So and the knowledge that you have each time, I'm just blown away. I mean, I run retreats, I've got all these people and nutritionists or people sometimes, that are around, but each time the way you do research and what you know, and you just the best. You're just amazing. Well, thank you so much for your time, Tracey. That was really, really great, and I'm sure that's going to help many, many people. And thank you so much for your time today. It's amazing.
Thank you. Thanks for having me, Muriel. I appreciate it.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Bye.
Bye.